A lurker, a great better, and serves perfect punishment games. He might just be the best of us. I don't want to acknowledge that. Nah. The game really sets the tone from the get-go here. So I might as well get my ranting out of the way. There seems to be this trend in games and media that if you just have this misery porn, then it's going to be compelling for people. I hate it. Just having sad characters and having bad things happen to sad characters does not do anything for me in this situation, other than perhaps making me annoyed at the situation and leaving the theater or putting down the game. This game evokes quite a bit of the same feelings I had when watching a playthrough of The Last of Us. Like, just why is anyone putting themselves through this misery? But I think that's the point. I think this game is here to be miserable. And I mean, that's fine. I mean, castration has a point. I'm still not queuing up for it. Right, so we take a beating. We have pathetic friends. We are pathetic. Let's get on with our pathetic life. And this feels like Control, so let's get that timer going. Can we play around on the toys? No, we cannot. All right, let's get going. 2014? It was that long ago? I don't think I picked this game up when it came out. I think I grabbed it a few years later. Ah, Bradley. That's us. We Bradley getting the crap beat out of him. Maybe the problem is I can't relate. I can't think of any time that I got beaten up as a youth or otherwise. I served some beatings once. I saw a kid kick a cat once, and then I beat him up, and I felt so good about it. Okay, well, it wasn't much of a beating. It went down in 2 punches, but still. It was such a powerful feeling. Here's our deadbeat dad. Man, must suck to have a dad that's bald or balding. You just know what's coming. Oh yeah, absolutely, Poppy. I wasn't a very violent individual, but it felt like the right thing to do. So easy as well. 1 punch to the stomach, 1 punch to the face, and down he went. I was expecting a bit more, anything. Yeah, he looked like a quivering mess like wee Bradley here. The cat softened him up for me. To make matters even worse, we opened the game with some baby crying. Thinking about it, this wouldn't have been long after I moved over to Sweden. And the first place that I sublet living there, I was subletting a baby's bedroom. Baby got kicked out of the room. I took the bedroom. Poor crying baby. We were able to hear him in the background quite often in those early day streams. Good times. I'm very grateful to that baby and his family. After all, it wasn't easy finding a place to live in Sweden. Baby cried every time they had to sleep on the floor. That's why they cried every night for a year. I'm surprised you tried the game in the first place. So I usually try out lots of different games, even if they're outside of my expected comfort zone. Early access is about the only real stone wall that I put up towards trying games. Especially if games make a big splash, I at least want to see what the fuss is about. If anything, it's surprising that I haven't touched Fortnite yet. I've been intending on trying it out for about 5 years now, just never got around to it. If only the game wasn't so expensive to pick up. When does the game start? Oh, this is already started. This is the game. Ugly freak shows living their pathetic lives. That's our game. Except it has some very light platforming and some god-awful Earthbound style battles. It's just bad in every way. Well, to me at least. I think this game has overwhelmingly positive critical reception. Although what they see in it, clearly we look at different worlds. Yeah, exactly. That's the thing, Wick. I did like PUBG. I'm terrible at it, but I did like it. So, very real threat that I could actually really like Fortnite. You saw how much 7 Days to Die has taken over my life. Could be that's me with Fortnite when I pick it up. So we found a girl. I don't know or remember why, but the women have been wiped out, and now there's just cross-dressing men in the world. But now there's a baby. A baby girl, no less. The implications are dire. I once tried to play this game too, but I couldn't finish it either, says Zingus. It's not a game that I can imagine anybody wants to play. I'm pretty sure back in the day I've thumbed through the reviews wondering why it was so good, and there was nothing talking about how good the gameplay was. It was just like, OMG, this game broke me. Life-changing game. And I was just not seeing it. One's enjoyment of Fortnite is usually directly correlated in how much someone enjoys beating up children, says Nyx. Dangerous. So, building our own little Fritzl lair for the girl here, who I believe we just call Buddy the whole game. Now, of course, there's all this joy drug taking to erase all the bad memories. The great lore behind this is over my head. I didn't play the game long enough to understand it all. For I did not want to. Yeah, the problem is a game like Fortnite, that's not my forte, so I can't imagine I'd be doing a lot of beating up of the kids. It would be me getting beaten up by kids. Which is a humbling experience, I don't know. Back in the day, one of my good friends in school, he had a younger brother. I think he was 9 years old at the time, so we'd play games together. But that 9-year-old kicked my butt thoroughly at Halo. It was very humbling. I couldn't touch him; he'd just destroy me. Really driving home my poor skills at FPS. So this is wee girl. We don't want her running around outside in this world that is very harsh and devoid of women. This is just horrific. And yeah, much as I'd love to skip all of this, there is no ability to skip, or even speed up, to my knowledge. Is this a game, or do you just watch it for 2 hours? Game? This is what you get. If you didn't want this garbage, you should have submitted other punishment games. Or lobbied stronger for other games so they're more proportionately likely to land than Lisa here. Yeah. That dude's face, it looks like an ass with a beard. Yeah, the whole game I think looks like ass. Alright, we might have some dangerous levels of gameplay coming up. This is Terry, I believe. Terry the tutorial. And here's our horrible, quirky, Earthbound-inspired first-person combat, turn-based, and just bad. Alright, so, combat system. It is fight. Fight the thing in front of you very well. It hits us, and then we go bang, 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 bang. And we mulch that dog. Rinse and repeat. I have never seen the appeal of this kind of combat system. Earthbound was a heap of ass 30 years ago. It's still a heap of ass today. Isn't that the true punishment? Punishing to watch and play? Oh, you've got me there, Ishanix. As I often say during my punishment game, the ideal punishment game is punishing to play, punishing to watch, or extremely difficult. And a very good punishment game is a mixture of the three. Perhaps two or even three of them. Coronation Street and the Mystery of the Missing Hot Pot Recipe being the crown-wearing sovereign of punishment game kingdom. Alright, so, Terry, you want me to turn on pain mode for a hardcore experience. Fights are challenging, or even different, and you have limited saves. I don't think so. This is already bad enough as it is. Terry. How about you just... No, there's no stepping away. Terry's gonna join us, and there's naught we can do about it. Yeah, even the sound effects in this game are painful. The clue is in the name, right? The game is called Lisa the Painful. Expect to have a bad time. Can I take these bottles with me? There we go. Let's clean up after ourselves, Brad. Bottles, they're very useful. Sell them, fill them, make fire bombs, or just throw them. Thank you, Terry. I'll pick them up. Here's our save crow. That's funny, I don't have any of my saves. Maybe they weren't cloud synced, because I know I played this game before. Save your game, da-da-da-da-da. Jumping. Hold up and jump. Pathetic. Can I jump down? To my death? There we go. If only I could call it there, but yes, there's my lesson to save and save often. Death is a hunter not unbeknownst to its prey after all. Anything could happen. Anything you say. Could we stop playing the game already? What about punishing on the wallet? No, I try not to bring too much attention to that, otherwise people will purposely put in horrifically expensive punishment games. That monkey game was 32 quid on Steam. But I can see myself refunding it, so I wasn't too worried about paying that. Steam have never denied me a refund. Not even for games that I've played for over 2 hours. Secret's out, Brad. They came and they took Buddy, huh? And given the blood splatter on the head and all the blood around here, I assume they killed you. Alright, are you actually properly dead? Yes, he is. Setting up the fact that it's a brutal game. How did they know? Looks like all of our friends are dead. Right, that rusty knife that we picked up, where's our options here? Grab that, and... At least there's an optimize button. Why can I not equip that knife? Terry, can you equip the knife? Maybe it just doesn't work like that. Oh well, let's get out of here. Good thing we're not playing with limited saves. We save, and we save often. I remember doing that first time I played as well, and yes, that does hurt ourselves. This poor guy's hurt as well. Yeah, pretty sure I walked off that edge to kill myself as well. Okay, what do we do? Where do we go? And again, why we save and save often. This game looks like what happens when you give a bored 7-year-old access to paint on Windows. Yeah, it's not a pretty game. I don't know anything about Cruelty Squad. Well, I think I heard that it's a games as a service game, which means it's probably terrible. But I wouldn't claim to know for sure. This time, do not hold right, you'll die. Just grab your mystery jerky and move on. I think Cruelty Squad is on my punishment game list, right? Specific combos. Which ones? You don't get to know. Alright, let's get... Good job, Terry. At this point, which famous bad game isn't on the list? Oh, there are plenty. In a way, I'm glad it's not me that adds games to the punishment list, because I know a lot of stinkers. Although I suppose the key thing is that I've played a lot of those stinkers. So I know what to expect. I wonder if Terry does anything other than be completely useless. He's crying, he's bleeding. What's this hints thing anyway? Give an enthusiastic chant. Looks like it gives SP back, which we shouldn't care much about. Just go and guard Terry. Could you list them for no particular reason? Well, no thank you. Like to save them to make other people play during their times of weakness. There we go. Terry continues to be useless. The going gets tough. Consume these. Activate painless mode. Easier difficulty. The battles are a breeze. That doesn't sound like it's in the spirit of the punishment game. He's dead, but I can't seem to have the sack here. Well, since this game is doing absolutely nothing for me, how about you help me out and fish out some of the overwhelmingly positive comments that people have to say about this game? Maybe I'll understand it a bit better. I expect something I could drop down to there, but since dying just sends you straight back to the main menu, I'm not very keen on it. Ah, what the hell, let's go for it. Or not. Can't seem to drop down this time. Just watch H. Bomberg's old review of this game. Is it a positive one? Got a fat lot of nothing here. See, Celeste was a game about people being miserable, but the gameplay was good. This ain't that. Boy, was Celeste a good game. What's that jerky story? Recovers hit points. Alright then, let's just keep ourselves in tip-top condition. Why the purposely awful distorted music? Truly, I just don't understand. Oh, bye, Terry. If you've just gone through a bad breakup, lost a loved one, had a pet die, or otherwise are in a bad place, this is what you need to do. 1, set aside 15-ish hours of your life where you won't be disturbed. 2, prepare some light, bland meals and drinks for those 15 hours. And 3, play Lisa. No breaks, no interruptions, no contact with the outside world for any reason. Is that a review? Doesn't sound like good advice. Also, Terry's just, well, KO'd. Maybe not fully dead. There sure are a lot of people dying here. Anyway, I don't put a lot of stock in Steam reviews very often. I find that I can't stand a game that's so overwhelmingly positively received. Although it's not often I find a game that's got poor reviews that I end up thinking is really good. Alright, Brad. Go and keep your head. So I keep picking up these items and I'm not actually able to use them. I would have assumed that was a helmet that I could be wearing, just like I found a knife that I could equip. Yeah, see, there we go. Why can I not equip this thing? I have no idea. Maybe there's some deep reason to it. Yeah, you drove the point home pretty early in the game here. In fact, it was only 20 minutes ago. When you say all of my stuff, was that a Death Road to Canada style all of my stuff? No, I've still got my wristbands, my poncho, the flower. Looks like it was just my items, and not even my key items. All too easy. Get up, Terry. Come on, let's get a move on. My love for quirky Earthbound style humor isn't growing. Yeah, mixed reviews can be a great wee barometer for something that's nuanced enough that if it is your kind of thing, you're really going to enjoy it. However, it can also be the indicator of a very bland game. Okay, well, thanks for the rest. But all my bottles got taken away from me. Can at least go along and say thank you to him. Oh man, this is... it's so jarring after enjoying playing 7 Days to Die so much to play a game that is just so unashamedly horrible. The world can be saved. Find her. I'm not sure if one breeding sow is going to be enough to save the world, but I don't know. I haven't run the numbers. Isn't there like a species coefficient for the amount of... the amount of people needed? So species won't die off to inbreeding. Adam and Eve managed, did they though? How many children did they end up having? And how did they pair up? That very much doesn't seem like my problem. Adam and Eve only had 3 sons, which does not help creating the human race. Yeah, I didn't know that part. I wonder if Terry's ever going to do anything useful for us. Even significantly better done games than this, I've never enjoyed this kind of combat. Something like Etrurian Odyssey comes to mind. I love the presentation of Etrurian Odyssey. If I was in any way into dungeon crawling, it would absolutely be the game for me. because I love the idea of the fully customized job-based party that you have, but I just don't want a first-person dungeon crawl with it. I actually streamed a little bit of Etrurian Odyssey. I was fortunate enough to get the entire bundle of their horrifically overpriced PC ports. Not the kind of game I expected to get one of those shill emails for, but get it I did. There we go. Give me them books or whatever they are. Magazines. For what purpose? I have no idea where magazines go. Oh, right, I just saw it at the bottom left there, right? Mags. A currency, perhaps? I don't know if Alpha streamed a lot of Etrurian Odyssey, but it did stream the game. It's a very tedious experience playing that game. Slow to level, and you can very easily lose it all to meeting a deer in the woods. This kind of fighting is only redeemable with strategy and great presentation. The presentation of Omori, for example, helped, says Doctor. I picked up Omori. I've been planning on playing that for years now, and I still haven't. Bars are great places, you say. This one doesn't look so hot. It's got a Power Ranger in here. Alcohol is good. Trust the bartender on that one. Been a while since I've had a good drink. And come to think of it, I did get that awesome Welsh whiskey. I'll pass. Seems unnecessary. Omori was great, but the only way I could beat the game with its wonderful atmosphere and story was to save edit to make my party stronger to skip the grinding. Oh god, does Omori need grinding? Generally, I don't like grinding in games. The grinding has to be fun, or at the very least, fulfilling. Something like Rune Factory. Or 7 Days to Die. But something like a Final Fantasy or Dragon's Quest style grinding, heavens no. Or Kamidori. No, Kamidori does not have good grinding. If I recall well, I did actually just save edit out some of the grinding in Kamidori or Amayui. Can't remember if I did that for my save run or a run that I did in my own time. Did I ever play that game in my own time? Maybe. I can't remember. There was a clown girl that I was very fond of in Kamidori, and I can't for the life of me remember if I did that on stream or not. She was amazing. My favorite girl in Kamidori, definitely. I'm not usually one for the clown aesthetic, but she was great. What was her name? Max. You remember? Well, of course he remembers. The question is if he's here to answer that. Yeah, I've noticed that everyone around here is. Milan. Thank you, it was Milan. Milan was great. And to make matters better, the fights to get her were so intense. She was great fun to use in battle, great fun to fight, and a rare case of beating an enemy, they join your team, and they're actually as strong as when you were fighting them. Which, as we know, the trope does not normally go that way. The trope normally goes that people are pathetic when they join your party after that. Alright, you gonna share your soup? Wait, what? So about that soup, can I just eat it right now? And we get the bottle back as well, right? So what's to stop me just drinking up the soup and then refilling the bottles? Why even go through the bottle part? Is this part of the painful experience? After La Milana, this seems like friendly UX in comparison. Yeah. La Milana's amazing. I could never play more La Milana. So we did it as a punishment game, and I also clocked a couple hours of it in my own time. Before the punishment game, that is. But, oh man, I can't stand Metroidvanias, and it is hardcore Metroidvania. Oh my god. This game is just so unpleasant to play. Just thinking about how slowly we move around in this world as well. It's not like we can run. And it's not exhilarating to look at. This is incredibly ugly. Even our character doesn't animate. His legs have, what's that, maybe 4 frames of animation? Just little black blobs moving around. Now we've got to look at his shiny chrome dome the whole way. It's just, what an unpleasant game. I wonder if there's been any dev commentary about this game. You know, what they wanted to set out and do. Because as I often say, if this is set out to be a miserable experience, then well done. Yeah, the original La Milana is a very unfriendly experience, Thagnus. The re-release is a lot more friendly. Still, gameplay-wise, it's not my kind of game. Alright. There's probably a trick here. He probably wants us to do this several times. I'll do it 5 times. We're already beyond what I was willing to stomach when I first played this game. What was that? 3? 4? Yeah, I've not been keeping good count. There you go. Is that good enough for you? Is he just gonna make us do this until we die? 6, 7, 8, 9. Oh my god, just thinking about all the 7 Days to Die I could be playing instead of this. Getting myself out of the burnt forest over to the desert. This guy's having a laugh, right? But thou must. The only reason you have to play this is because of you, Jake. Is that so? Maybe we need a bigger drop. Maybe I can drop down from this thing? No, I can't seem to reach up there. Okay, what did that do for me? Stunning with a kick to the groin. I think I've taken enough blows to the groin by now that even a surprise kick wouldn't be that debilitating. Taking all sorts there. Tennis ball, cricket ball, cue ball. That's probably the most painful. Where was I for that? I think I might have been on the Isle of Mull. Yeah, that sounds about right. Playing some pool. Opponent chipped the cue ball right into me. Oh boy. Maybe that's how I can tolerate painful experiences like this. Doesn't quite compare. Oh yeah, everybody's there to say, oh, if only you didn't lose your weekly one shot. I don't see people around here doing weekly challenges. So many different kinds of games submitted by others. Alright, these weirdos. I think we've reached the limits here. Maybe I need to go back and set those kids on fire again. Yeah, it'd be no fun if I won all of them, right? But maybe I should do a little bit better than 50-odd%. Does anybody actually know the ratio of wins to loses? I thought I set up a little calculation on my sheets to tell me the win ratio, but I might have imagined that. I imagine a lot of things in my life. It's very close to 50%, says Lizard. Are we counting the 2 hours of hell as well? Because I certainly would. I think my ratio is a bit better on the 2 hours of hell. Given the format, I generally had shorter, easier games. It was good, but the format was too limiting. That's why I do weekly one-shot these days. I did one challenge, and it was a 9-hour Patrician 4 stream. I think I did my part forever. You took all of your soup. Oh, okay. Right, so there's a limit on the soup stealing. That's not stealing now, is it? I'm just taking what's mine. A disgusting damp poncho. Prevents burning. Not really sure it's worth the 2 on that, especially when I can buy new party members. This music is just dire. It's like I'm stuck in the most depressing elevator. Okay. I'm confused. How do you win the game? Winning the game. Closing, uninstalling, refunding. That's a pretty good win condition to me for this. But no, there's a story to go through. I assume we're going to eventually find the girl that we're hunting. And then have a very emotional moment. But given the game, probably everything still goes very wrong. What the hell is up with you? It's turning into the blob. Do we really have to fight you? Can I just leave? He's just chilling out there. I don't see any reason to fight. Alright, what was it again? I think it was square, square, square? No, that's circle. And yeah, that is it for the groin kick. Circle, circle, square. At least the music is good. What? Good for who? Oh boy. Gotta say, this constant stunning seems to be working out well for me. Yeah, I wonder if they got the guy that did the director's cut music for Resident Evil 1 to do this. And if you haven't heard the director's cut music for Resident Evil 1, whoa, you've been missing out. It is something special, especially terrible. I get the urge to buy a game. Not sure why, says Eddie. Well, hopefully not this game. Yeah, you enjoy what you want, but to me this game is just anti-fun. I feel the fun being sapped out of my body as I play this. Yeah, Thagnos knows what I'm talking about. Director's cut mansion basement music in Resident Evil 1. I've heard some stories about that, and I don't know if any of them are credible. The one that comes to mind is the composer claimed to be deaf, so nobody could really point out how terrible his work is. But it was all a sham. Yeah, I don't think I believe that at all. Why is everyone so angry around here? Wonder if we're going to reach the point, God Hand style, where there's somebody that is not affected by a kick to the groin. God Hand, that was a pretty great game. Much as I love my groin kick, doesn't seem to be stunning this guy. I'm so unclear on what people are meant to get out of this kind of combat experience. It's so dull, so uninvolving. Then again, I used to feel the same way about card-based games. Slay the Spire came along and told me exactly how good they can be. Well, can't give all the credit to Slay the Spire. Really, who should be getting all the credit is Animation Throwdown, the quest for cards. What an experience. 43% loss rate. Oh, nice. That's a 57% win rate, surely. Combat in JRPGs is supposed to be their worst part. I don't know. They got plenty of bad parts. Right, dying horribly here. Can we fix this? Revive, recover, cigarettes. It heals poison. Feel nothing. Well, I don't know. There might be a healing point coming up. Although there could also just be a surprise gotcha fight. Sometimes I can drop down and sometimes I cannot. It's one of those cannot moments. I've been bleeding this whole time? Oh dear. From 1 to 10, how much are you suffering, Jake? Not very much. Give it maybe a 3 or a 4. Maybe elevated to a 5 simply because I could be playing 7 Days to Die right now, and instead I am busy not playing 7 Days to Die. But the suffering in this game isn't very active. It's very passive. You're just playing a pretty poor game. You're not playing such an actively painful game. But that is just my opinion. Right, are you going to fight me or not? I'd like to just walk past if you don't mind. This is death, isn't it? Do you know a way over? I have a feeling if I try this, I die. It's just that kind of game. From 1 to 10, how bored are you, Jake? That's annoying because I used to say this thing to a friend, only boring people get bored, and she really did not like hearing that, because she often complained about being bored. I will concede, though, this is one boring-ass game. It's so slow. And there's so much nothing going on. Alright, I'm going to try my hand at that so-called jump, but I'm probably just going to die. Imagine getting this for Christmas instead of Final Fantasy X. I poured a lot of hours into Final Fantasy X. I was very interested in defeating the game's super bosses, but I actually found Final Fantasy X's story to be rather touching. Probably a large part of that was that it had voice acting in an age where voice acting was... What was that? God knows. In an age where voice acting was relatively new, especially in console games. Go! Oh, okay. Just assume the game over before we even hit the ground. I'm glad. Final Fantasy X was my childhood Final Fantasy. I certainly played it first as a child. My first Final Fantasy was Final Fantasy IX. Oh, I'll just die here, won't I? Or we could just run away. Okay, no, we'll just get licked in the dark. And groped in the dark. And punched in the dark? Is this just an inescapable... No, we can leg it. Yeah, of the Final Fantasies I played, let me think. 1, 2, 3, 4, 7, 8, 9, 10, 10, 2, 15... I think that's it. Certainly not in that order, though. Weird and pissed. Pissed is a funny one. It means angry in simplified English. But in the King's English, it means to be drunk. In the original filming of Shaun of the Dead, they were going to say that a lady looks so pissed, but they realized that their colonial audiences would think that they're talking about the lady being peeved or pissed off. So they changed it to, she looks so drunk. Bring her to Rando, he will give you the world. Seems like a good deal. You guys don't seem like a good deal, though. What's your story? Okay, you don't even want to talk to me. Well, I tried. Nah, you're quite alright. There's escape. Quite nice of the game to actually blank it out when it's not an option. So many games present escape like it's an option, but it'll never work. Alright, Brad, time to kick some ass, hopefully. Take out the passive one first, Mystic Pete. I don't think you're lasting through this one, Brad. Okay, how about you just do no damage altogether? Alright, try him. He seems like a problem. What an experience. Where were those burning children again? Can we get back to that? I was wondering if that was one of those force losed segments, but no, it was just a lose segment. How does it feel? Getting your ass wiped, says Zero. Can we work on the phrasing there? And this is death, right? Yeah, all the pits are death. Although I'm sure we'll come across one that isn't. Gosh, I cannot remember where the burning children were. Were they down and along here? Some games on Steam have demos. I'll check them out. I'm not big on demos, personally. I like that they exist, and I certainly played plenty of them when I was younger. But these days, I just want the full experience from the get-go. It's part of the reason I never try out early access at all. I don't get excited about small teases of extra content trickling in. I just get frustrated. Torrenting is the demo. Yeah, there we go. Alright, maybe you can shed some light on this incredible lore. Somebody once asked me why I don't read out the text in the games that I'm playing. The way I see it, you guys have eyes, you can read through it. And on reflection, I don't want to be spouting this nonsense out of my mouth. You ever played Legend of Dragoon, Jake? Maybe. Probably not, though, because I put together a list of every game I've ever played, and I don't recall writing Legend of Dragoon on it. But I might have watched somebody play it. Can you tell me what that is? Normally I'd tab out and look it up, but I would not want to infringe on the holy 2 hours of punishment that Blue Openux has managed to roll. Alright, is this story going anywhere? I was hoping you'd unveil the deep lore for me. Christ. What did I do to Blue? Blue Openix is just working against me, karmically. How's the first hour of punishment been? Not pleasant. However, since I'd already played this, I knew that unpleasant times were incoming. Can't believe a game with overwhelming positive isn't a punishment game. I am very surprised. Oh god, hello again. I get that there are games that you may like or dislike based on your tastes, but there are sometimes I play a game and I think there are a lot of objectively terrible things about this. And then I turn around and see that it has overwhelmingly positive feedback on it, and I just wonder how. I can see why, for example, Resident Evil 7 was very well received. I couldn't stand the game, but I could certainly see why generally people would enjoy it. But this? Who the hell is liking this? Even with nonsense like The Last of Us, right? Oh, what a miserable freaking game. But it's there so that people who don't play games can watch a movie and come away going, oh wow, I played a game, that was fun. You're a bit of a bore. Oh, jeez, okay, well, at least I have another meat shield to throw at the oncoming problems. If only I could get another one. The brawler guy wanted tons of mags, but maybe for my 20 mags I could buy the guy at the bar. Although maybe I could also fight this thing. I enjoyed The Last of Us, says the real decoy. I got to keep throwing bricks at people's heads. You don't need to play a game for that, though. Oh, Christ. If I just die here, it's going to be back to square one to listening to that guy's stories. Alright, how about this? Drink that bottle of soup, Brad. Nairn, you... See if you can do any damage for a change. Does that thing even have a groin to kick? Apparently so. I think another part of the misery of this kind of combat system is putting in all of your inputs before watching them unfold. Never found that particularly enjoyable. There was one game that was particularly bad for that. I think it was Unlimited Saga. You had to do all your inputs, and on top of that had like this spinning wheel input for your actions. But you'd have to go through all of that even if you're just beating up a little wild rabbit that you are way over-prepared for. Oh, okay, well, goodbye, Nern. Are we gonna get anywhere with this? That was a lot of damage. Yeah, we're all feeling weird, game. I don't want to be here. Okay, thankfully neither do they. And Brad's hogging all the experience. Trashbag shawl? We're going to be able to wear that? So far, the game's not been big on letting us equip any of the things that we find. Making me wonder why we find them at all. Produces a stench. Made from rabbit murder. Could I even wear that leather poncho instead of my itchy old one? Yes, I could. Perhaps, yes, I even should. Alright, how are we going to heal up from here? Don't worry, Jake, just another hour to go. Yeah. At least that's not the horrible threat that it is when we're playing 7 Days to Die. Just an hour to go, Jake. Alright, you there, drunky man. Let's get you a drink. I still doubt that this is going to be enough of a meat shield to save us from that very nasty band of brigands, but one can try. If one can find a place to heal up. Where were we finding that tent earlier? I've already forgotten. You, perhaps? No, where was it? Oh, Rainey says, one of the reasons I watch Jake is to see all of these games I wouldn't touch, like 2D jumpy games or all these crafting games. Not for me, but it's fun to watch. I can't imagine this is fun for anyone involved. Maybe Blue. No, I think you run out of soup. It's catharsis for losing your points. Oh gosh, what did I do to lose you your points? I'm not going to claim that I'm sorry. Not for your points, at least. I was pretty close on that Toho game. Winning felt a little bitter because if I just held out for a few more seconds the first time I met the end boss, it would have been fine. Ah, hello, Dennis Wolf. Even all these years, I see the name Dennis Wolf, and I still remember your betrayal to me in Death Road to Canada. Funny, that's just left its mark on me permanently. Here's the camp, alright. Not only that, but some added soup. Just gonna take all of your soup, man. Hope you don't mind. Yes, this game, Crip. This horrible game. Alright, so it restores us in general, but there's TP on Olan, whatever TP means. And he ain't up there. Oh, you wear shawls, so perhaps I could give you this trash bag shawl. More agility, more defense, good enough. So these things that I'm finding, certain people need to be equipping them. Pretty cool that you've got a revolver and a shield. Ach, wheel. If it makes you feel better, I'm planning on streaming the German Nancy Drew tomorrow. Ooh. Unfortunately, I think tomorrow is just going to be me being consumed by 7 Days to Die again. So I don't think I could rock up for that. Okay, maybe I shouldn't be throwing my poor, crippled body down these cliffs. What's your story? The story is being dead. Good story. And we ascertained we can't go here. Where in the world were those kids? I was meant to be killing some kids. Was it through that crack in the wall? I should double check that. Here we go. Okay, so it's another but thou must. Can't get past him to get the other one. Now my grand master plan was to not put out these burning children. Maybe I can just keep the bucket for myself. So everybody... Oh, they're all dead already. Okay. That seems a bit bizarre. Almost tonally lost. Like, are we meant to be feeling bad? We just torched 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 kids to death. But the whole story is revolving around saving one kid. I don't know, man. Do I at least keep the bucket of water? No. What was the point in any of that then? Overwhelmingly positive. How? How? Who? Who is playing this game? Who is enjoying this game? It's such an unstimulating game in every sense. The music is horrible, the visuals are just dire. Barely animates. The text and the plot are all just gobbledygook. What is anyone getting out of this experience? The point is ha funny. Well, if I wanted to have a ha funny moment at Tragic Kids, then I'd play more Hotfoot in UFO 50. I finally got my gold in that. I might someday get the cherry in it. Oh, right, now we're just back at the jump we cannot make area. Undertale had an interesting combat system and good music. So even if you didn't like anything else about it, it certainly had that going for it. Alright, going through here is dangerous. We're gonna get licked. Literally. Yeah, let's top up with a rest and then go and deal with that. Yeah, I think Lisa predates... Oh, okay, out we go. I'm surprised they didn't rob us of our stuff. We were warned, of course, that anything can happen to us when we rest, but them's the risks. Good afternoon, says Proto. Did we already have the Human Odyssey? I was kind of looking forward to that. No, that comes after this, and that can't come soon enough. So 45 minutes and 20 seconds, more of this nonsense. Alright, let's see if we can get past the nasty bunch beyond here. Not the mysterious licking and groping in the dark, but instead the trio at the end. Maybe I should just do a bit of swinging here, but I'd rather just escape. This is the kind of game that makes you very grateful. For example, I'm very grateful right now that I'm playing Slay the Spire and not this, says Llama. Quite right. I wish I was playing Slay the Spire instead of this as well. I'm just passing by. I should have just passed by. I decided to talk to him again. What a mistake that was. Alright. Focus down the slashing guy. He seems like a problem. Alright, so we had this weird thing where attacking Mystic Pete didn't do anything. Let's just take out the other threatening-looking physical individual. What a difference it makes actually having a party. Oh, so there we go. Now we're able to hurt you. Couldn't lay a finger on him last time. I'm starting to wonder if Terry's a bit of an onion knight. You know, they're actually going to end up being one of the strongest creatures in the world, because we had the opportunity to just kill off Terry right at the start. And I didn't take it. I sacrificed all of my belongings to keep him alive. Such coarse language in this game as well. Where's my profanity filter? You know what, Terry? Let's actually give you a go in actual combat. Maybe he is an onion knight. Look at that damage. Ah, maybe not. What is that? Every now and then, just this roar. I wonder if it's because Brad is having joy withdrawal. I imagine so. And I guess that's why I should take joy, but screw that. Get out of it, cold turkey. Yeah, I'm also the one having a joy withdrawal here. I could certainly go for some anything that isn't this game right about now, but don't worry, soon we'll be able to embrace our monkey ways. Thinking about it, wasn't that long ago since we had another monkey-related punishment game, was it? Rise of Kong. Well, I don't want to fight this guy. He was just chilling out. Oh, okay, now you've done it. Yeah, one can only hope that we get something out of the monkey game, something more than this. I wonder if I'm doing no damage because of the joy withdrawal. Thinking about it, that would make a lot of sense. In that case, what can we do? Ah, yeah, there we go. Withdrawal. Attack, defense, agility, maximum hit points, luck, evasion, speed, and accuracy all down. Maybe I could just fireball you anyway. Get over it, Brad. Oh, okay. Well, that's getting over something. A little bit intimidated by that mention of 15 hours to play through this game earlier. But fortunately, I am not committed to beating this whole game here and now, or really ever. If punishment games were commitments to beat the whole game, then I think the punishment game submission list would look very different. It would be full of eye-numbingly lengthy, horrible JRPGs. Or Western RPGs. Beat Morrowind, unarmed only. Oh, okay. There's your punishment. That's not punishment, that's my life imprisonment. 10.5 hours focusing on the main objective is what Google returns, says Peon. That's probably based on how long to beat results, which I wish is something they'd fold into Steam. If I'm not mistaken, GOG, Good Old Games, they've folded in a time estimate for the game, and that's very handy. Because it really is something I consider when picking up a new game these days. How long is this going to take? Because I often see a game having a very long playtime as being to its detriment. It's not like the olden days where a game saying 80 hours of content was a case of, ooh, wow, that sounds great. No, now it sounds like, oh god, that's going to be a chore, isn't it? I will be the one to decide if a game is worth that kind of time. Oh, I really should have brought Terry back from the brink. Nothing's stopping me from still doing that, though. Just have a wee snort of this perfumed Terry and get back on your legs. Hey Jake, any chance of playing Persona 6? Fantasio. Pretty much 0. Have I ever streamed a Persona game? Have I ever streamed a Shin Megami Tensei game? I don't think so. Anyway, they're not my kind of games to play, and they're certainly not my kind of games to stream. In my own time, I have played and enjoyed Persona 3, 4, and 5. And I have watched a playthrough of Shin Megami Tensei 4, 4 Apocalypse, Strange Journey, Nocturne. And, you know, fun to watch, but absolute hell to play. As it stands right now, though, no plans to do so. Those games are big time commitments, and I'm not really looking for the experience that they offer right now. Holy hell, could this combat system be much worse? It's just no fun at all. Maybe me getting my ass kicked isn't helping matters, though. I think part of the issue is fighting an opponent with no indication whatsoever of how much of a beating that they're going to take. No health bar, no visual indication of them getting tired or knackered or injured. Just constantly wailing on this this black box. What a miserable experience this is. Do you like that enough to just let me rest around here? Don't worry, Jake, I'm cooking right now. A challenge for you in the High Fairy Fantasy Challenge with Hexes. This should cheer you up. Maybe that's where Frostpunk 2 really fell flat. It should never have had a hex-based system. That sounds pretty good. This is where I wake up and find that I have none of my belongings left. The other day I heard someone say they put 18,000 hours in Diablo 3. That's more than 6 years of 8-hour days. I'd rather die. I've put a lot of time into Europa Universalis. Was it 5,000 hours on the game, and then I think another 6,000 hours on the beta. But in my defense, a lot of that was work time. And frankly, if you could put that time into Diablo and not be working, would you take the trade? You know, take your job, imagine you get that income, but instead of going to work, you have to play Diablo. Now that doesn't sound good for me, Diablo's not my kind of game, but if it was, maybe it would be. Generator? Gasoline? You seem like a gas sniffer. 4 guys roaming in the caves. Come back when they're all dead. Alright, sure. What was that? Clear the caves. I will do my utmost. Well, maybe I will. How long do I have left? 32 minutes. You have a tendency to become just as obsessed with games as I do, maybe even more so, says Andy. Not sure if I would ever get obsessed over Diablo. Although maybe if I didn't have to work as long as I kept playing it. That was my dream as a kid, not having to work. Which is funny considering I've worked most of my life. Alright, so we killed that guy. Any other caves to crawl through here? I just withdrawal kicking in again. Jinx, how hard could it be? I don't do drugs unless we count alcohol, and if we do count alcohol, I can go a very long time without a drink. In fact, I'd say it's not even a case of can or cannot go. I just drink when I want and feel no desire outside of that. Which is good, because I have a very nice collection of alcohol. Perhaps too nice. In fact, Brad, you're so knackered, why don't you just guard? I've never really understood alcohol dependency, or drug dependency altogether. And surely you wouldn't compare it to games. There is no comparison. Big shot. Where's all that TP coming from, anyway? Ah, he builds it up through attacking. That's a bit more interesting than SP. Considerably more so. Ah, Disgaea. Truly looking forward to there being a Disgaea 8. I certainly hope there is. Disgaea 7 was very promising. I enjoyed it a lot. More so than I thought I would after Disgaea 6. But it really was the best Disgaea yet. Unless you count Disgaea 1, because Disgaea 1 was so good. Just shows its age a lot. Alright, 3 of these losers remain. Are you a loser? No, you die. I don't want to hear anything good. Oh, the TP is built up across the battle, right. Bomb, big. Do a regular attack and then hit you with a bomb. Is that it? You ever gonna not guard? Oh, I have no idea, Beefy Prussian. Alright, 2 down, 2 more to go. To achieve what? I have no idea. Oh, there's the generator, right? And we can huff all the gas we want. How much gas do we want to huff? I don't know if it could override any memories I have of this game. Oh, you're welcome to it, Andy. I cannot stand this game. As I said, Omori is on my backlog. Maybe someday... Oh, we gotta go through and throw ourselves off a cliff to proceed, don't we? Omori's been on my backlog for some time. I'm uncomfortable with someone having drawn a comparison between this and Omori. But needs must, I suppose. What a horrible way to spend my Friday. It is Friday, right? Ah. Is this back from where I came? I don't know, because I'm bad at orienteering and even worse at short-term memory. Yeah, this is where I beat up the 5 guys. It was kind of nice to get my revenge on them after the horrible time they put me through first time I came through. It's just barely Friday here, says Jetpack. I think it's Friday here. I don't keep a very good eye on the dates or times anymore. I don't have to. Alright, so we're still apparently looking for 2. Well, maybe I can fob you off, say I killed them all, when in fact I have not. Oh, horrible. This is so just depressing department store music going on here. Oh. What? But I only killed 2 and you said there were 4. Oh, well, whatever. Maybe he meant 4 total. Okay, how many firebombs are we making here? 4? Alright, well, we've used all the gas there is. Huzzah. What are we meant to do with it? I have no idea. Do we want to spend mags taking a nice rest? I think we do. At the inn. Interesting choice though to detach the save points away from the healing points. And by strange, I mean frustrating. Immolating yourself with fireball. Surely an appropriate end to this game. End to this game. Music to my ears. What has been your favorite UFO game off stream? Ooh. I still have a lot of love for Bushido Ball. But, man, that's tough. There's a lot of goodies there. I'll tell you what, special shout out to Hotfoot. Because for a while now, the tune to Hotfoot has been playing in my head the moment I wake up. Kind of an addictive little jingle they got going there. Not to mention you get to see all the crying children in that game. The crying child that you don't pick, the crying children that you beat, and then finally that sniveling little child at the end with his robot pal, that cheating bugger robot. It was so good to put that thing down. Absolutely just cheats, comes over, pushes you over, steals your bag, throws it at you while you're still stunned. Yeesh. Children to beat? What's the name of the game? It's UFO 50 and it's Hot Foot. Nothing quite like beating children. I've got a little image that comes to my head. Something that I got out of CK3. Brilliant. Can't find myself returning to CK3. I sure wish that game had more game to it. Okay, what is there left to do? What is stopping us from doing anything right now? You have that permanently in your OBS scene? No, it's stuck in my miscellaneous folder. Unsorted images aplenty. So what is there to do again? He has it printed out and hung on his wall. So a friend of mine in university, we used to play Left 4 Dead together quite a lot. And his ever thoughtful girlfriend, for a present, got him a giant set of 9 frames with a printout for each of the frames, and it put together that classic picture of the quartet from Left 4 Dead having a holdout. So it had Lewis, Francis, Bill, and Zoe. And one day he woke up and he found that the circle containing Lewis's face had just fallen off. So it was a great motif, just with Lewis having a blank slot where his face should be. And that image brings a smile to my face every time. We were very harsh on Lewis. We didn't like him. He was the recipient of a lot of jeering, a lot of slurs, a lot of hate. Because when we played multiplayer, he'd often just be the AI, and he'd just run in front of all of our shots. Bloody Lewis. Great game, though. Wait, am I meant to hit a little snake in the balls? Okay, Bearing Fangs sounds like a get your guard up moment. The new CK3 DLC is great, probably still too easy. The game is very, very easy though. Alright, seems like guarding is just a way to get ourselves poisoned, so let's take you out. My middle school friends hated the Lewis AI. They thought he always startled the witch. Yeah, the AI. I thought the AI was very good in Left 4 Dead, and it was, for sure. But when playing multiplayer, gosh, they were annoying. Alright, eat my big fireball. We'll have some roasted snake for dinner. Oh, you know another game that we could be eating roasted snake in? Starts with 7 and ends in Days to Die. It's worrying that Brad is still poisoned between the fights. CK3's got to be the best game Paradox has ever put out, and then it feels like it's just been so unloved since release. Or more that it's just straying into a direction away from what I want. Get those machine gun fists out there, Brad. Ah, but you see, City Skylines 2 is only a Paradox published game. It's not made by Paradox. Are these encounters random or are they scripted? I suppose functionally it's the same. Oh man. At least there's no risk of there being an exciting time playing this. Yeah, Stellaris is a darling child for Paradox because it makes so much money. It's the interesting parallel between Stellaris and the other Paradox games. See, Stellaris has a DLC release, and numbers shoot up massively because people return to Stellaris, they buy the DLC, they play it for a week or two, and then they drop it. Whereas you compare that to something like Hearts of Iron, people are just always playing it, constantly. They put out a new release for it, okay, well, numbers bump up a little, and then it goes back to that regular, lots of people still playing situation. Took a while for it to get there, though, but Hoi 4 just had a steady, steady rise for a good long time. But yeah, Hoi 4 does also make the big bucks. Alright, what bad things are happening to us? Oh, well, this is a bad thing. I haven't taken any drugs since we started. Maybe this is what I should imagine when people tell me that they fall asleep to my streams. I appreciate this a bit, though. We picked up this annoying guy. Didn't really want him, I just needed meat shields in combat. But the fact that he actually does this annoying, useless thing during our resting moments is quite nice. Something I like in these kinds of games is actual interpersonal moments between characters, especially if it's between two characters that are not the main character. Of course, it's hard to note games that even do that. There's this check, right? Is there a woman that talks to another woman about something that isn't a man in a movie, right? I forget the name for it, but it's a test for movies. I like to think about that for video games. You know, do you have a character and another character, not the main character, talking about something that isn't the main character? And I tend to like that in games when it happens. The Bash-Tell test. I see. Sounds like a fun little exercise to find, but then that also involves watching a lot of movies, which is not something I'd enjoy. Nothing worse than having a full party of people and having them just interact with you. Having them interact with each other is really good, though. Adds a whole lot of depth to it. Something I kind of wish there was a bit more of in Final Fantasy X. For example, Auron and Kamari. Right, they knew each other. Did they interact together even once during the entire game? There was a moment right at the end where Auron, I think he lightly taps Kamari on the chest. And I did think that was a great moment. It just needed a bit more lead up to it. They could do with a bit more silent acknowledgement of each other. Would add a little bit more weight to their situation. I am not reading one word of what Baldo is saying here. I will say, this guy is reminding me some hilarious torture I do to a friend where he's trying to sleep and I just keep talking to him about banalities. I say, please, Jake, I'm trying to sleep. I got my lectures in the morning. No, listen. See, I was playing this game, right? Or I'd give him long lists of hypotheticals. I don't know, go with the first one. Yeah, but consider this, right? What if this happened? Would you rather be really good at nunchucks or really good at chucking nuns? I mean, sure, you could be really good and do all these fancy tricks with nunchucks. But if you ever came across a nun, you could just throw her on top of a building, just like that. No problem. What would you rather? And there's Ender. Nunchucks. I can't carry around nuns all the time. Yeah, but anyone could get good at nunchucks. Chucking nuns, on the other hand, it's almost mythical. I hate this game. I hate these characters. It's just such an unpleasant game. And at least there's not even 10 minutes of it left. No, see, that's the thing, health, it just completely wilts. There's a random passerby, you pick them up by their ankles, and then suddenly, oh, you've thrown your back out. Oh, no. Oh, it's just not working. But then, as luck would have it, this you pass by a nunnery, out pop a conga line of nuns, and you just grab them one after the other by the neck, by the head, by the ankles, by the waist, and you just lob them around, pick them up, throw them over. They form a little human pyramid. A whole crowd of Americans gather around you and start clapping. That's the life that you could have. The remaining 10 minutes is just this guy talking, isn't it? Yeah, we're getting an Animal Crossing moment here. Old Diglett or whatever he is, popping out, giving a rant about me cutting off my game power. I ran out of battery, you nimwit. Would you rather have leg-length fingers or finger-length legs? Leg-length fingers. Better to have more, right? Plus, you're asking me to give up DDR? Give up most of things, actually, unless my legs have become incredibly powerful to support the rest of my mass. Jesus. I think leg-length fingers would cause some trouble with the computer. You just stay very far away from the keyboard. Besides, you'd get used to it, right? Alright, well, I'm glad that horrible moment is over. By which I mean the horrible moment of playing this game. Yeah, we didn't get a proper night's sleep because of that. That is good. It's good that that actually had an impact. Hey, hold on. These little duck things. Is this where we were at the start of the game? Now, there's something I'm curious about. What is causing people to morph into these blobs? No, not really. Is this what joy does to a man? Alright, folks, this is what we've got the firebombs for. Do I need to use all of them or just one? I don't know. Let's try Oh, I didn't save. Alright, tell you what, we only have a few minutes left anyway. Just firebomb the thing into oblivion. And I guess fireball is also fiery. Use your knuckle drop of fire. Shoot your fire gun, your firearm, if you will. Give it the big show. I find it hard to believe that Terry could get cheesed off. This appears to be going not well. Brad, bring out the machine gun. That sounds like a firearm. Man, I'd say I want this to be over, but at least I know it'll be over soon. Starting to think the real thing to do was to lob the burning bottles maybe one every 3 turns to stack the burning nicely. As in, pace it out over time. Oh man, at least horrible games like this make me appreciate good games some more. Tell you, next time I play Slay the Spire, it's going to feel a whole lot better now. Well done, Terry. More of that, please. Then again, playing good games makes a horrible experience like this all that much worse. The dirty deed is done. Hey, with that bike we can cross over that thing, right? Well, what we can do is we can move marginally faster. Alright, if the man could just not speak to me tonight, that'd be great. What? That's pretty bad. You imagine that happening normally in an RPG? You just save at the save sphere and you come out and know, like, Waka has abandoned you. Oh, okay. That's great. To add to the list of things I absolutely cannot stand in these types of games, it's random encounters. Alright, you know what, we're pretty much done here. Go and... Oh, I hate random encounters. Such a horrific flow-breaking thing to have in a game. Alright, there we go. Let's just end this nonsense. Whee! Yes, game over. The 8 happiest letters I could see regarding this game.